move back to the building. Do not move back. Do not stop.
What's going on, everybody? Project Rod here, and welcome to the Halloween Showdown for the Monster Truck Diecast Drag Race. It's time. It's taken a while, and we are here now with 32 trucks. We have the crowd lined up and ready to go on these sidelines just like before. Hopefully we don't have any accidents like then, and we can make it out pretty well. Ranger Rescue, though, still out of commission for the moment, but he should be ready after round one. We have Scoops on the sidelines ready to help any of these trucks, though, in the meantime. And again, we have 32 competitors here today ready to see who's going to be the winner of the Halloween Showdown. We have Whiplash here, who was the pre-season showdown winner last time around. If you haven't seen that video, be sure to check it out. And let's go ahead and see our first race of round one. It's going to be Velociraptor and Bounty Hunter. They're ready to go as Roland goes ahead and finishes off the track. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the racing bracket real quick. Again, 32 competitors in round one, so we should be down to 16 after it's all said and done. This is going to be the longest round of this competition, so let's go ahead and get started again with ADHD in Velociraptor and Lizard in Bounty Hunter. Let's see who's going to take this first race. Here we go. And it looks like there was some collision in the other cam right there. Slight collision there, and Bounty Hunter coming out on top and ahead of Velociraptor. So Velociraptor is eliminated, and Bounty Hunter will be moving on to round two. A huge win for Lizard. Velociraptor now being pulled off from the track by Scoops into the Monster Jam Garage. Our next race is going to be Whiplash and VNS Shingo versus Cecily 96 in Soldier Fortune Black Ops. Here we go, and looks like it's going to be a wreck for both trucks as we take a look at the other angle here. Right there, going over the jump a little crazy for both competitors here, but Whiplash getting a little bit further in the lead, I guess, if you will, and taking the win. So moving on to round two as Scoops is coming up to pick up both drivers and get them ready for the next competition. Here goes Arcanine 59 and El Toro Loco versus April Summers in Night Storm. Let's see who's going to take this win. Looks like Night Storm with an early lead and almost, I don't want to say she almost lost it there, but that could have cost her the race had El Toro Loco not slowed down. That ramp right there slowed him down a bit and cost him the race, so Night Storm moving on to round two. Scoops coming up to save the day and get her ready for the next round. Now it's going to be Daniel the Fireball Murray in the Crowd Killer Crush Station and Worst COD Player in Kraken. Let's see who's going to take the win here. Sea Creature against Sea Creature. Kraken taking the jump a little too heavy, and Crush Station taking the win, making it to the finish line no problem. Kraken unfortunately facing the same fate as April Summers in Night Storm. However, he did not win the race, unfortunately. Right there, it looks like that jump there, one of those cars, he may have clipped it and caused him to go a little further back. So Scoops coming in to save the day once again. Hopefully Ranger Rescue can hurry up and come out and assist in further competition. Here comes Steel Titan in Iron Man versus Monster Jam Fan 21 and Bakugan Dragonoid. Let's see who's going to take this next race. So a clean race, it seems like. Iron Man with the lead, going over the Crush cars, both with a nice wheelie. But Iron Man will be the winner, and he will be moving on to round two. Bakugan Dragonoid will now make his way to the Monster Jam Garage. As we move on to the next race now, it is going to be Taz 2008 in Maximum Destruction versus MMJ Producer in Avenger. Let's see who's going to take this race. Going down pretty even. Maximum Destruction with a great lead. Unfortunately, Avenger going over the Crush cars. It was a little too much for him to handle. And Maximum Destruction will be taking the win. Again, MMJ Producer and Avenger unfortunately taking a spill there. As we take a look at a replay right here, it was all Maximum Destruction. Avenger could have made up some ground here, but unfortunately hit the ramp a little crooked, and one of those Crush cars got him caught up and flipped him over to his side, so he'll be moving on to the Monster Jam Garage as Scoops is helping him up on all fours and will make his way to the Monster Jam Garage to watch the remainder of the competition. Here comes the next race. It's going to be Kryn and Monster Mode Rottweiler versus Nitro Studios in Hooked. Let's see who's going to take this one. And pretty even so far. Rottweiler with a slight lead. Hooked, getting a slap wheelie off of that, or sky wheelie really, off of that ramp there. Monster Mutt Rottweiler making it all the way to the finish. Hooked, unfortunately, facing the same fate as the other competitors in the past. Here's a replay right there. Rottweiler with a slight lead. And right here, he hit the ramp, sent him up in a sky wheelie a little too hard, wasn't able to control it, and ended on his side. So very unfortunate for Hooked. And it seems like the right lane right now isn't the lane to be in terms of racing. So far, there's been some trouble with control there. So let's see how this race plays out. It's going to be Harry Plays 41 and Sparkle Smash versus Dave 609 from YouTube in Monster Mutt Golden. Let's see if Golden can conquer this right side of the track. And so far, Sparkle Smash with a lead, but the Golden Monster Mutt will be able to take the win. He conquered it just right and just barely edging ahead of Sparkle Smash. Sparkle Smash, unfortunately, crashing after the jump there. As we take a look at a replay again, this race was all Sparkle Smash going into the jumps here. Sparkle Smash gave it a little too much and got caught up on the tail end of the truck, got too much sand, and went over to the side. Monster Mutt Golden was able to conquer it just right and will be moving on as Sparkle Smash is being led to the Monster Jam Garage. So we're halfway through round 1, and these are our 8 competitors. Moving on to round 2, we have 8 more to see on the other side to have a total of 16 for round 2. So let's go ahead and get started with the second half of round 1. Is going to be Nick Morkes and Stone Crusher versus Santaku in Dragon, and I hope I pronounced that right. If not, I apologize. Here we go. Pretty even so far, and Dragon was able to not flip over, able to conquer that wheelie pretty easy. However, it slowed him down too much, and Stone Crusher took a fast and amazing win over Dragon, so he'll be moving on to round 2. Dragon will be making his way to the Monster Jam Garage here shortly. Here's a replay of that race, and you can see right here, Dragon just giving it a little too much. That Crush car catching the back end and slowing him down a bit. Stone Crusher just gunning it through all the way to the end and getting the win. Here's the next race. It's going to be Firefly and Axe versus Speaker Mike 01 in Earthshaker. Let's see who's going to take this one. And so far, Earthshaker with the lead, looking a little wobbly though, and going a little too high with his Sky Wheelie. Axe taking the easy win to that right lane, taking yet another competitor, another victim. So unfortunate for Earthshaker, Axe, and Firefly moving on to round 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at a replay and see what happens here. As you can see, it was Earthshaker all the way. He was starting to get a little wobbly here, so who knows if that has anything to do with this final outcome. And right here, just hit it a little too hard, Sky Wheelie up, and catching the back end of the truck and going on his side. So very unfortunate for Earthshaker as Axe is moving on, and Scoops here struggling a bit to get Earthshaker up on all fours. It's kind of embarrassing here. Come on, Scoops, let's go. We got a race to finish here, and finally back on all fours, and he'll make his way to the Monster Jam Garage. So Scoops, he might need a break here. He's a little worked out a bit. Here comes Flame Plays and Zombie versus the Camera 9785 in Calavera. The 2 trucks that are perfectly themed for this Halloween Showdown. Let's see who's going to take this win. Calavera with a lead, conquering that right lane pretty easy. No, but they look pretty even. The finish line cam says something else, but right here, at least in person, they look pretty easy. However, as I'm looking at the camera, at the feed, it looks like Calavera does have a slight lead, but we're going to go ahead and, for all fairness, rerun them and switch sides again. In person, it looks very close. Although on the camera side, on the back end of this, it did look like Calavera had the lead, but it doesn't matter. Calavera taking the rematch. So seems like the winner, who should have taken it from the get-go, will be moving on. Zombie, unfortunately, is out. Camera 9785 is in and moving on to round 2. Let's go ahead and get started with the next race. It's going to be Digger versus Digger with Mopar SRT in the Chrome Gravedigger and Monster Jam Collector Racing in Gravedigger the Legend. Let's see who's going to take this one. Gravedigger the Legend with a huge lead, gassing it in the end, but unfortunately somersaulting after the race and just barely losing to Gravedigger. It seems like he's just barely over Gravedigger the Legend. Had Gravedigger the Legend landed that somersault completely, he definitely would have taken the win, but unfortunate for him, he did not complete it. So Gravedigger and Mopar SRT moving on to round 2 as Trip Racing in Captain's Curse and Omboji in Soldier Fortune leading off the next racing competition. Let's see who's going to take this one. And from that feed, it looks like a clean race right here. Soldier Fortune gassing it through taking a huge lead over Captain's Curse. Captain's Curse almost making a comeback, but Emoji and Soldier Fortune, just by a little over a tire length, will be moving on to round 2. Captain's Curse will be making his way to the Monster Jam Garage. Next race is Green Joe Buff in Lucas Stabilizer versus Driftboy 912 in Bad Habit. Bad Habit in the preseason showdown made it to the championship round against Whiplash. Let's see if he has that same luck here in the Halloween Showdown. Going for the jump, and Bad Habit giving it a little too much and landing on his lid. Lucas Stabilizer, though, also flipping over. So both trucks flipping over. However, Lucas Stabilizer, had a greater lead, and he'll be taking the win right there. Bad Habit, you can see collecting some sand there, as that's really what cost him the race. He just caught too much, and it flipped him over. Here comes Pylor 89 in Megalodon versus Matt Johnson in Bulldozer. Let's see who's going to take this one. Oh, and our track is collapsing. We have some trouble in the Halloween Showdown. Megalodon making it through, but Bulldozer falling victim to the track, falling apart. So very unfortunate for Bulldozer. Megalodon looks like he's going to be taking the win. However, we're going to go ahead and rerun that race, given this this unfortunate accident here. As you can see, here's the replay. The entire track just collapsed, costing Bulldozer the race. So we're going to get them ready for the rematch and move on to the next race in the meantime, which is going to be Undead Elkins and Mohawk Warrior versus Empty World Media in Bad Company. Hopefully we don't have the same results here this time around. No, the track is holding on one piece. So let's see who's going to take this one. It's going to be a close one, and I believe Mohawk Warrior took that one. One of the closest races we've had so far. Here's a replay of that, and right there you can see Mohawk Warrior taking that win. Unfortunately, our finish line cam overheating due to this Texas heat, so we're going to have to rely on our main cam here. But again, pretty easy to see that Mohawk Warrior took that win. Here we go. It's time for the rematch. Bulldozer and Megalodon, they're going to switch lanes, and hopefully we have a better result this time around. Here we go. Track is holding up, and it's going to be Megalodon taking the win, a huge win over Bulldozer. Very fortunate for him. Bulldozer, he got a second chance, but unfortunately could not pull through. So our next 8 competitors are moving on to round 2. This is the final bracket for round 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at the competitors who are sitting in the Monster Jam Garage right now. They put on an amazing fight. Unfortunately, they were unable to take a win here, and they're going to just watch from the stands. Here are our 16 remaining competitors for round 2. So after this, we're only going to have 8 left. So I'm interested to see who's still going to be standing after it's all said and done. And Ranger Rescue is back and ready for some action here. We've had a few crashes here, as you can see right here. Unfortunately, Gravedigger the Legend, in the movement of getting all these trucks into the garage, unfortunately took out a member of the crowd. So hopefully that's the last one that we see. Fortunately, though, Ranger Rescue was able to attend to them immediately. But here's the racing bracket once again. 16 competitors. We're going to go down to 8 for round 3. Let's see who's going to take that first spot. It's going to be Whiplash and VNS Shingo versus Bounty Hunter and Lizard. Let's see who's going to take this first race. And unfortunately, again, our other cam, look at this, an amazing win, a beautiful wheelie by Whiplash. And I was going to mention our other cam is also out due to this Texas heat overheating the cameras. So we're down to 1, and Whiplash, again, an amazing win as we take a replay here. A beautiful wheelie, beautiful execution. And VNS Shingo moving on to round 3. Here comes April Summers in Nightstorm versus Daniel Murray in the Crowd Killer Crush Station. Nightstorm with a lead, a truck length lead in Crush Station, unfortunately. San Diegoing it in the sand pit there. So Nightstorm moving on to round 2. Crush Station, unfortunately, out. And fortunate for the crowd, though, as we take a look at a replay of the preseason showdown, he is known as the Crowd Killer. And fortunately, though, at least for the crowd, that he is out of the competition, but very unfortunate for Daniel San Diego Murray, as Ranger Rescue is here to save the day, to make sure he's good to go. And Scoops is going to help him get to the Monster Jam Garage. So a great outing for Daniel Murray. Unfortunately, it's cut short. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the next race. It's going to be TAS 2008 in Maximum Destruction versus Steel Titan in Iron Man. Let's see who's going to take this next one. So far, pretty even. Steel Titan with a slight lead, but it's going to be Maximum Destruction taking that big win over Iron Man. Both put on a great racing competition. However, Maximum Destruction gave just a little more and took the win. Now it's a battle of the mutts. It's Dave609 from YouTube and Monster Mutt Golden versus Kryn and Monster Mutt Rottweiler. Who's going to be the Monster Mutt on top? And so far, pretty even going into the racetrack, colliding in midair. And it looks like Golden has the slight lead over Rottweiler, so he'll be moving on to the next round, round 3. And Ranger Rescue here checking on both competitors to make sure everybody's safe. And right here, boom, you could tell that they slightly collided. Again, it didn't look too serious, though, as Scoops is coming in to save the day. Again, Ranger Rescue, huge shout out to him to help out these competitors. And our first 4 are in the bracket. We have 4 more competitors to go and 4 more races. Let's see who's going to be our next 4. Moving on to round 3, it's going to be Firefly and Axe versus Nick Morkes in Stone Crusher. And here we go. Our camera is back in action after recovering from that Texas heat. But here we go. Axe with a slight lead, and he's going to take the win. It looks like Stone Crusher took a crush car with him, and that may have cost him the race. We're going to have to take a look at a replay here shortly. Again, Stone Crusher Nick Morkes unfortunately facing victim to that car. Right there, you can see he took one of the crush cars with him, and that may have slowed him down. So very unfortunate for Stone Crusher as he makes his way to the Monster Jam garage with the rest of the other competitors from today's competition. Here comes Mopar SRT in Gravedigger versus the Camry 9785 in Calavera. Let's see who's going to take this win. Gravedigger with a slight lead. No, Calavera now taking the lead over, and right there, it's very close to call. Calavera, another close race, but right here, it's pretty easy to tell that Gravedigger is going to take the win. Again, in person, it looks a whole lot different. And it seems to me that Gravedigger will be taking the win. Right there, you can see at least by half a tire length, he will be the winner. And moving on to round 3, here comes Green Joe Buff in Lucas Stabilizers versus Omboji in Soldier Fortune. Here we go, track staying in one piece, and Lucas Stabilizer with a huge lead over Soldier Fortune, but it's going to be Soldier Fortune coming in at the last second and taking the win right there. One of the best races we've seen so far, landing right in the hand of our skeleton friend there, Lucas Stabilizer, unfortunately losing it at the very end. Here's a replay right here. It was all Stabilizer, but right there, he just drifted a bit and gave that chance to Soldier Fortune to take the win. Here comes Undead Elkins and Mohawk Warrior versus Pilor89 in Megalodon. And looks like Mohawk Warrior has a truck length lead over Megalodon, and he's going to take that lead all the way to the finish for a win. So Megalodon out of the competition. Mohawk Warrior moving in. A great outing so far for Megalodon, and he's going to make his way to the Monster Jam garage as we have our final 8 of this racing competition. So it's going to be good as we get our semifinals filled up and ready to go. So again, the competitors that have lost so far in the Monster Jam garage have put on a great outing. No, there's nothing to scoff at them. They put on some great races today, but these are our 8 competitors left after 32. So again, it's going to be Whiplash and Nightstorm, Maximum Destruction and Monster McGolden, Mohawk Warrior, Soldier Fortune, and Gravedigger and Axe. So some great competitions here in the 3rd round. So let's go ahead and get started with April Summers in Nightstorm versus VNS Shingo in Whiplash. And they're off. Track holding in one piece. It looks like we may have some trouble though. Whiplash a huge lead here, but crashing in the sand pit, and April Summers in Nightstorm is going to take the win over Whiplash. Very unfortunate for Whiplash. The preseason showdown winner will not be able to take the Halloween Showdown. It's going to be a new competitor right there, a short little bicycle for Nightstorm, avoiding Whiplash. Whiplash, unfortunately, again, out of the competition. And moving on to the Monster Jam garage. So April Summers in Nightstorm is our first semifinalist. Let's see who's going to be the next one with Taz 2008 in Maximum Destruction versus Dave 609 from YouTube in Monster McGolden. It's a battle of the golden trucks, and let's see who's going to take the win. Monster McGolden with a huge lead, and he is going to take the win over Maximum Destruction. So a huge win for Dave 609. Moving on to the semifinal round to face Nightstorm. And you can see right here, it was his race all the way. Maximum Destruction coming down a little too hard on the ramps, which caused him to slow down a bit. And you can see, actually, it looks like Monster McGolden shot a ramp towards Maximum Destruction's way, and that may have slowed him down and cost him the race. We'll never know. Here comes Mopar SRT and Gravedigger versus Firefly in Axe. Let's see who's going to take the 3rd spot in the semifinals. It looks like our backup cam is out again due to this Texas heat, and Axe unfortunately taking a spill there and costing him the race. Gravedigger and Mopar SRT moving on to the semifinal round. So a huge win for Gravedigger. An unfortunate outing for Axe. Again, just gave a little too much and is on his side. So he'll be moving on to the garage. Ranger Rescue ensuring us that there are no problems. And here we go, the final race of round 3. Who's going to be our last semifinalist? Is it going to be Omboji in Soldier Fortune or Undead Elkins and Mohawk Warrior? Here we go, Omboji with a slight lead in Soldier Fortune, and Mohawk Warrior giving it too much. And Soldier Fortune is going to take the win right there. A replay showing Mohawk Warrior just giving it a bit too much like our other competitors in the past. And that cost him the race, so it's just a huge sand pit right there. It's going to be tough to race in that lane. So here we go. Here are our 4 semifinalists. It's going to be Night Storm versus Monster McGolden, and Gravedigger versus Soldier Fortune. And once again, our other competitors are in the Monster Jam garage, spectating from above, cheering on for their favorite competitor. And there are 4 left, as I mentioned: Gravedigger, Soldier Fortune, Night Storm, and Monster McGolden. It's going to be a great semifinal round. Let's see who's going to go on to the championship round. Again, here are our 4 finalists. After 32 trucks, we've made it to 4. Now it's time to make it down to 2 trucks. Let's see who's going to take the first final spot. Is it going to be Dave609 from YouTube in Monster McGolden, or is it going to be April Summers in Night Storm? Let's see it. Monster McGolden with a huge lead, but giving it too much, and Night Storm is going to capitalize on that and take the win away. So unfortunate for Monster McGolden, and a huge win for April Summers in Night Storm. Again, as we take a look at a replay, it was Monster McGolden all the way. He just hit it too hard in an angle which sent him kind of flipping sideways and cost him the race. Now it's time to see who our final finalist is going to be. Is it going to be Omboji and Soldier Fortune, or Mopar SRT and Gravedigger? Here we go. They're pretty even. No, Soldier Fortune taking a huge lead, and he's going to take the win all the way to the finish line. Gravedigger, not sure what happened there. Maybe he hit the ramp a little too hard, and it cost him to slow down. So we have our 2 finalists in April Summers in Night Storm, and Omboji in Soldier Fortune. Again, we had 32 competitors at the start, and 30 are currently spectating from the Monster Jam garage, and our 2 finalists are hanging out on the track right now. So they made it a very long way. April Summers again in Night Storm, and Omboji in Soldier Fortune. So best 2 out of 3. You already know how it goes. First truck to win 2 races will be the winner. So let's go ahead and get started. And oh, actually no, we have to see who our 3rd place winner, or 3rd place contestant, is going to be. Excuse me. So Mopar SRT and Gravedigger versus Dave609 from YouTube in Monster McGolden. Who's going to be our 3rd place truck? And it's going to be Gravedigger, inching ahead of Monster McGolden. So he will be taking the 3rd place spot, the 4th place spot belonging to Dave609 from YouTube and Monster McGolden. Now let's go ahead and get started with the championship round. It's going to be, again, Night Storm versus Soldier Fortune. Let's go ahead and get started with the first race of the final round. Again, best 2 out of 3. So let's see who's going to take the first race. And Night Storm with a huge lead over Omboji, but no, Omboji's going to cut her off as she, for some reason, had a stoppie right after her jump, and Soldier Fortune capitalizing on that and taking the first win. Here's a replay again. Look at that huge lead, at least 4 truck lengths, and jumping up over the crushed cars. But right here, a stoppie for Night Storm, and Soldier Fortune just drifting right in front of her and cutting her off to ensure that he takes the win. So Soldier Fortune has 1 win over April Summers and Night Storm. Let's see if he can win here, or if Night Storm can equal it out here. Tied up and in a collision after the jump, but Night Storm is going to take the win. So a huge win for Night Storm as April Summers stays alive, and Omboji now has to go to a sudden death final round. So here we go, a replay. It was Night Storm again with the lead, but right here after they jump, they both slightly collide right there, and Night Storm again was able to take the win. But a collision right here. Ranger Rescue, of course, coming out to check on both trucks and make sure everybody is good to go. So while we give both drivers a break, we're going to have a short little race here between Mini Sparkle Smash and Mini Monster Mutt. And a very short-lived race. Sparkle Smash looking like taking the win, but taking a huge spill. So our 2 brave competitors, a huge congratulations to them and a huge applause to them as we come to the final race. Who's going to take the championship of the Halloween Showdown? Here we go. And Soldier Fortune and Omboji taking the Halloween Showdown win. landing right in the hands of our skeleton friend here, and no better way to end this race than that right there. Unfortunately, April Summers and Nightstorm taking a spill right there, just giving it a little too much and costing her the race. So a huge win for Soldier Fortune and Omboji, and after 31 competitors, there is only one left. After 32 competitors, there is only one left, and the winner of the Halloween Showdown once again is Soldier Fortune and Omboji. So a huge shout out to all the competitors here today, again, all hanging out at the Monster Jam Garage, spectating from above. 32 trucks down to 1. Everybody put on an amazing outing today, and just a huge thank you to everybody who signed up and is watching this and was a part of this. Be sure to check out the next one. Again, stick around because we still have some more action here in the Halloween Showdown. Last time we burst through 1 container. Now it's going to be 2. So let's see if Soldier Fortune and Omboji can conquer both of these containers here. And he's off. Let's see what he can do. He's going to go and smash into both of them and tear them both in half. Omboji landing perfectly there for a photo shoot. He is your winner once again of the Halloween Showdown. So huge congratulations to him. And if you'd like to see more Monster Truck Diecast Drag Race action, be sure to check out the preseason showdown. The link is on screen and in the description below. And if you'd like to be in the Thanksgiving Showdown, be sure to keep an eye out on my YouTube and Discord, as signups will be up tomorrow. Remember, 1 person per truck. I'm Project Rod. Thank you so much for watching.
Let's try that again. Okay. Hey, man. My bad. Oh, come on. Right. Ranger rescue to the rescue. Yeah. Okay. Dude. Good enough.